Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dazzling Dave, and this is your latest Wolves update. And the hot topic obviously today is the first of four bits of content from Wolves, which loads of Wolves fans, over 600 Wolves fans, have sent in questions to ask Jeff. It's Jeff Shi, obviously the Wolves chairman, but also with senior members of the Wolves management team. So yeah, let's get into it. So in this one, obviously it's a chance for the management team to answer lots of different questions in regarding to the Wolves supporters that are put to them. Let's just say that this was recorded before the announcement that Nuno Espirito Santo was let go, shall we say. But it was a great video, and it was 45 minutes long, and I will put a link on the end of the end screen if you want to watch the full video. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts and feelings that have come out of this. I thought they answered the questions very honestly. It was hosted by Johnny Phillips, but one of the clear things that's come out of it to me is the general feeling that because of the pandemic and financial fair play, Wolves' hands are tied somewhat in the transfer market. And Jeff said himself that because of the loss of revenue on ticketing and on match days, it's going to make it difficult, and they're going to need to be creative. Scott Sellers also sort of reaffirmed that as well. And but one of the things that did come out of it was that Ruben Neves obviously has been in the been mentioned a lot recently in terms of potentially leaving. Well, they did say that his contract goes up to 2024, so if someone's going to come and make a bid for him, it's going to have to be of a very decent price. They talked about the sales of Diogo Jota and also Matt Doherty, saying it was all good for all three parties, the buying club, the selling club, i.e. Wolves, and of course the player themselves, in terms of wanting to develop. Now that does suggest that Wolves are open to offers from some of their key players to me, but that they don't have to sell for low prices. But I do think Wolves are going to have to create money. Fosun obviously do invest, but they did sort of suggest about the financial fair play, that it's a 3-year cycle, but also, and as I say, the reference going back to the 17-18 season, which of course they did spend and invest a lot of money when they were in the Championship, but because they got into the Europa League in the first season, they're also having to abide by UEFA's financial fair play as well. And if they were to go wrong with that, they could get within a fine. Obviously, Johnny Phillips has suggested that lots of clubs in the past have been happy to take the fine, but from the reaction of Scott and Jeff, who are primarily on this side of the video, the others such as Russell Jones and Vinnie Clark will probably come into it in future ones, but Matt Wild also did chip in with a few things as well. But they were basically saying because of the FFP under UEFA that they have also the constraints with regards to that as well. They talked about their investment in the younger players and what's happened last season. That Matt did actually say that on record that they felt that finishing 12th or 13th this year was a good achievement considering the backdrop of injuries and all that that's gone with it, and that they are looking to have a bigger squad. And they've learned, Jeff said they've learned a lot of lessons, and maybe they took it for granted a little bit in terms of their injury record, and they've learned from that. They did talk about the likes of Fabio Silva and Pedro Neto, and you know, Jeff did say that both of those could walk into any squad, and he did say, and his opinions were that Fabio Silva, for his age, is probably the top wonder kid in the world, if not in the top 3. And you know, they did say that he is learning, and there's lots of things more to come from him, and they like investing in players. That's not to say that they don't bring in more experienced players. They talked about the association with Gessitude, which is Mendes' agency. They said they deal with a lot of agents, but they like to deal with ones that are trusted, and they're not. And they did say they've had some great deals from Mendes that he's been able to get, but obviously that some deals work out, some players don't. But they said that on average their track record has been pretty good. Jeff did say to trust that Fosun will do the right thing by Wolves, and you know, there was a lot of reassurance there generally in this particular first video. So they did answer the question. It's good to see the senior managers and management team answering the questions for the fans. Obviously a lot of the questions for the fans would be, right now, why have you let Nuno go? But obviously we've got to part that, and there's lots of speculation about Bruno Lage coming in, but of course for him to come in as well at this point, he's got to pass you know, he's got to get a work visa, and that's not a given, because obviously since we've left Brexit and Brexit has happened, the point system makes it a bit more difficult, and they did suggest that they will be looking at the home market more, and also the South American and North American market as well, and obviously they'd have to deal with agents in regards to that. And they did also suggest that the transfer business will probably, they like to get it done earlier rather than later, but because of the Euros it's going to make it very difficult to do that, which is understandable. There's lots of things in the air in regards to that, and obviously if someone has an absolutely amazing tournament, that's going to certainly do the highlight. And lots of Wolves players are also now in the Euro squad. We know that you know, Moutinho, Neves, Patricio and Semedo are in the Portuguese squad. Dendonk has been called up for Brighton. Adama has been called up for Spain, and of course Wolves captain Connor Cody is in the provisional 33-man squad for Southgate as well, for England as well. So, you know, I felt that it was a good first step, positive that they've come out and do this. I'd say listen to the whole video on Wolves podcast or the Wolves app or on the Wolves YouTube channel, or go on to the Wolves website and read it. But there's lots of positives that come out of it. It's a difficult situation at the moment, obviously, with Wolves, you know, currently not knowing who the manager's going to be, who's obviously going to have wants and things that he wants to do, but that's going to all come out in the wash, obviously, hopefully an appointment within the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we'll wait and see on that. But yeah, what do you think of the first video that's come out from the Wolves management on this one? Leave your comments below and leave me your thoughts on it as well. One other bit of news, Raul Jimenez will not be going to play for Mexico in the Olympics. There's an agreement between Wolves and Mexico that it's best for him to continue to wait until he's fully fit. So Mexico, Raul Jimenez will not be representing Mexico in the Olympics. So yeah, leave your thoughts below. I'm Dazzling Dave, always Wolves.